Hello, my name is Alia Mnayer. I'm from Waterloo, Iowa, and I graduated in 2021 from the University of Iowa with a major in English and creative writing. And then I also had minors in psychology, political science, and Arabic. Um, right now, I am in Morocco. I am a Fulbright ETA. In Morocco, the position is a little bit different, so we're not actually assistants. We're still called ETAs, but we teach our own classrooms, and all of the positions are in universities. By far, the biggest adjustment for me personally has so much less to do with this being a different country and so much more to with this being a city. I'm in Rabat, which is one of the capitals. And it's not like a huge city for, I think, actual city people. But I am from Iowa and I've only ever lived in Iowa. And we felt like a big city at like 70,000 people. So that's been a lot, but I'm adjusted more now. And then I think like one of the things that either when I talk to Moroccans or people who know Morocco, and when I would tell them I was going to Morocco, one of the things that always came up was that people are just like really, really kind. And like you will get invited to people's houses and they want to help you. And it's like 100% true. I have a small collection of dads. Um, there's been at least three, four, and then one was taken back because he was like, no, I'm not that old. But three middle-aged men who have been like, I'm your dad now. So you can call me if you need anything ever at all. I'm like, thank you. And it like passes like the creepometer. Like it's not, it's 100% sincere. Correct. I severely overestimated how useful my Fusha would be. Um, it is super helpful for like signage, for understanding the tram, that kind of stuff. I would be so much worse off without that. And I just like have to say that to remind myself because like verbally speaking, okay, I never took French. I took Spanish in high school, never tried to learn French. For the first several weeks and or months, I could not tell the difference between French and Darija. Like they just both sounded completely like I would just be sitting there trying so hard to hear something that was based in Fusha so that I could tell. It's so different. And the good thing is, I mean, certainly I am understood. If I'm saying something completely in Fusha, if I know it enough and I say it enough, people get like the gist. But it is, yeah, it's very, very different. Um, but I'm practicing and I've got like the like transaction phrases down. Like I've got like in the taxi, at the butcher, at the market, at the like, the little hanut by my apartment. Like I can do those things. Conversing in a way that's like real communication, not so much. Beyond the fact that he just sounds so different, there's every single like it's just completely blended with French.
Hmm.
Like if you are speaking strictly Darija and you're not putting French words in there, they're like where are you from? Which is not I don't speak Darija enough for them to be confused. They're like we know where you're from. But Rashida, who went to that dinner with me, she is originally from Morocco and then she moved to the US and lived there for a long time. She's here, she's not an ETA or a researcher, she's like a scholar, so like someone who already has their PhD. But so she'll speak, but she speaks only Darija and it's fluent Darija. They're like, what you are not, where are you from? Because that is incorrect because like French is just blended in, or like I didn't expect restaurants, like the menus are completely in French. There's not even an Arabic option. Um, and obviously there are like power and economic dynamics there because it's like the nicer the restaurant, the more Frenchified it is. Um, but I was just shook. It doesn't help that Rabat is a particularly French city. Like there is a ton of French all around Morocco, but Rabat, I think it is a bit more. So like I'll be learning because I'm taking Arabic classes, both mostly Fusha and then a little bit of Darija at the end usually. And so I'll learn a word and I'll go, and then later I'll be like, oh, that's a French word. That's what that is. Like I learned, we were learning like the words for like booking a hotel room. And it's like, okay, so I want in Darija is Berit. Berit, which is fun fact, I want is just the past tense of I like. But it's like Berit, and then reservation is réservé. And then room is either beat, like spelled like bait, but you say it beat, but it doesn't mean house, it means room, or chambre. And then like, going about my day, and then I was like, chamber. That it's
French.
chamber. So then it'll be written out phonetically in Arabic, but it's a French word. But I don't know how to pronounce French, so it's snazzy. I've been thinking a lot about how I must sound or how much must sound to other people because in my I try to like sometimes I'm just walking around and I feel like it's got to be something like, "Hello, peers. I would wish to accompany you to the coffee place." Like it's just got to be so strange. Then also like that level of formal, but then terrible grammar. Like that's what I sound like. But yes, the contrast between my Fusha lessons and then like the part of my lessons that then we transition into Derja are so funny. There was one where we literally it was like on the topic of the Western feminism, of the movement of Western feminism, the third wave, and then we transition to Derja, and I go, John usually drinks milk, and it's just like it's a mess. It's so funny. It was fabulous, obviously. I love the Arabic program at Iowa. I will tell you, Yasmin is the reason all of the cool things that I have done are because of Yasmin Ramadan. Like when I was a sophomore, she's the one who, or maybe even a freshman, she's the one who recommended me for Fulbright in the first place. She's the one who sent me, um, one of my only like published works, was done through an award that she sent to me and thought that I might like to try, and I did, and it was great. Um, the coolest writing things that I've ever done through the International Writing Program, the Summer Institute, also sent to me by her. Like she's just amazing. Um, but my time with the Arabic program was great. I loved it. I wanted to study Arabic because um, I my family background is my dad. He's a native Arab speaker because he grew up in Jordan, but our family's Palestinian, so my grandparents were refugees in 1947. Um, and he didn't teach any of us Arabic. And that was on purpose. He uh, felt and experienced a lot of like prejudice being an Arab person in Iowa, and he did his best to make us not Arabs, because in his mind, in the 90s and 2000s, that was the kind thing to do for your children. So when I was like a teen and I realized not everyone has an Arab dad, I kind of thought that everyone just kind of had an Arab dad because like this is just how life is. We make matlube on Saturdays. We go to church on Sunday. That's how it be. No. And then realizing that there are things I didn't know and wanted to know about. And so yeah, I did Arabic in college to, well, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful language. I wanted to learn about the world that I felt as a teen and as a person was missing from me, Favorite course, I think one of my favorite courses in college in general, and then in the Arabic department was Yasmin. I don't know if she still does it because it was like kind of like a special one-off thing. But it was culture and resistance in the Arab world and looking at media, and then like you could add an extra semester hour and also study like the Arabic words for it. And it was amazing. Gorgeous. So again, that class. One of the things that that class like sparked an interest in me was in the idea of like power dynamics and power relations between languages, and the kind of political act that translation or the initial writing of a text can be. And that's one of the things that really drew me to Morocco, also separately, is that there's such an interesting, like, so many layers of power dynamics within different languages in Morocco. But with translation, I really love the idea of beyond the like power dynamic that's happening there, of translation as an art form in itself. Like old news for translation people, but new news for me, of the idea of this is an art form. When you translate, you cannot, it's not possible to directly translate something. You are fundamentally changing it. This work in another language is a new work, and you as a translator are doing that. And I thought that was beautiful. And I worked on like other literary mags on campus when I was an undergrad. Um, and I really loved the opportunity to work on another literary magazine, but specifically with the um, transference of languages. I think it was so fun. The first one I did was from English to Arabic, and it was just a very small little poem, and that was lovely. And then the second one I did after I graduated, I translated this enormous essay. Um, it wasn't enormous, it was like 5 pages. But when you're translating from Arabic into English, it felt so long. But that was also really interesting. I think the normal experience, because I've talked to other people about Arabic translation here, and I think normally it's harder to go from English to Arabic than from Arabic to English. But because the first one I did was so much smaller and was like free form poetry, so I didn't have to use grammar, that was great. That was easy peasy. And then when I had to like an essay translate, that was difficult, but still very fun. Also, fun fact, I've done not quite translation, but assisted on some translated works from a youth writers organization here. I actually another Iowa connection. Do you know how small the world is? It's tiny. Um, so through the International Writing Program, which I was only a part of because of Yasmin Ramadan, I met Mohammed Al Wahabi, and he is the director or another role, but I think director. And he runs the Olive Writers, which is a group that does like generative workshops and writing development opportunities and publishing opportunities for like young adult writers, so 18 to 25, in both Arabic and English. And when I first got here, curated and edited a collection of stories on the topic of freedom for them. Abdelaziz Arashidi, he's also here, and he's lovely. I went to his university this past weekend to talk to his students about like American university experience and opportunities abroad. And if you're looking to go abroad, here's the things you should do with your resume, blah, blah, blah. And he's lovely. He's very upset with how much I pay for rent, and he wants me to move. He's like, I'll find you an apartment. We can go. He's the one he said he was my dad, and then he went, never mind, I'm too young. But you can call me if you need anything. If you have a year between college and something where you want to speak Arabic, you should use your Arabic in that year, because if you don't, you will lose a lot of it. It's not like riding a bike, or if it is, it's a bike that rusts very easily. And also, do it's so hard to do, but try to let go of being embarrassed, because the biggest reason why I didn't use my Arabic is because I was embarrassed. I didn't want to sound stupid, so I didn't practice. So then I sounded stupid. So people want to try to communicate with you. It's called Speak Bird, Speak Again, and it's a compilation. It's a wonderful thing where it's both a compilation of the stories and also an academic text with like paratext to go with it. But it's a compilation of Palestinian oral folk tales collected by like Palestinian academics in the 80s. And it's so good. It's so lovely. And it feels just like important on a grand scale and then also so important on a like me personally scale. And it does a wonderful job of like at my heart, I'm a nerd. Okay. It starts with like a 50-page essay, and it's such a good essay. Like that was a beautiful essay. It didn't do the thing where the language was needlessly academic so that you can only understand if you have like three espressos in you. Like it was good and smart and comprehensible, which is just so difficult to do. And it does this thing where it like lays out the aspects of Palestinian culture that are necessary for understanding the stories that you're going to hear, which then are because they like collected them from all over Palestine, they recorded them and then like meticulously translated them. And then even within the translations, there are like footnotes of clarification or like why, if something is like really changed from the original, why they did that and why that contributes to the translation. And it's just so, so good.